Welcome to Wolfie's Top 10s. In our last episode, we gave tips for things to pack when living on campus. But what if you're living off campus? Well, don't worry, we've thought of that as well. Hi friends, my name is Julianna and I am a fourth year outdoor recreation and education student.
Hi, my name is Jewel and I'm a second year nursing student.
And my name is Breanna and I'm a second year education student.
Today, we're going to let you in on the top 10 things you need to know when living off campus. What's the one thing, Jewel and Breanna, that you've learned from living off campus? For me, it taught me to take responsibility and pride in my own home.
One of the things that living off campus taught me was how to communicate with my roommates better. We had a group chat as well as weekly house meetings where we could communicate clearly with each other.
An important lesson I learned is to manage your responsibilities, whether that is making sure you pay your rent on time or purchasing food for the week. I dealt with this by creating a calendar specifically for these tasks.
So other than this, why might someone choose to live off campus? Or what are the benefits of living off campus? I know I chose off-campus housing because I really like cooking my own food, and I have some creature comforts that just aren't welcome in residence.
A benefit to off-campus housing is learning independence, managing your finances, and really starting to integrate into adult life. Super perks are picking up your own groceries.
Off-campus housing was great because I gained privacy, my own space to add what I love, and a wide range of freedom.
It's great that those are the experiences that we've had. Let's check in with one of our orientation leaders this year to hear their take.
Hi, my name's Emily and I'm in my third year of the Honors Bachelor of Social Work program, originally from Kirkland Lake, Ontario, and I attend the Orillia campus.
Emily, why did you choose off-campus housing?
I chose to live off campus because after my first year in residence, I wanted to be more independent and have my own space.
What's one thing you wish you knew before going off campus?
One thing that I wish I knew before living off campus was that there's a lot more responsibilities associated with living off campus, including things that you don't typically think of. So that includes like cooking for yourself, shoveling the snow in the winter, making sure that you're safe, and keeping everything clean and tidy.
That's a great answer. Now let's move on with the video.
Starting off, number 1, research units available in the market. The Lakehead off-campus housing site is a great place to start seeing your housing options. However, there are many other sites that you can look at. We'll have them linked in the description below. While looking at different places, make sure to take note of the average cost of rent for an area. That way, you can have an idea of what the expectation of rent should be.
Number 2, research the community and amenities. When looking for a place to live off campus, you need to consider what's in your neighborhood. Are there accessible transit routes nearby, or do you require a car? How far is the nearest grocery or convenience store? And how long is the commute to the university? These are all important questions to ask yourself when trying to find the right off-campus housing option for yourself.
Number 3, check out the house or room in person. Always visit a place in person before you sign the lease. As beautiful as some images may appear, it's still important to see a place in person beforehand. There might be damages or issues with the space and its functionality that may not be noticeable in an image. Seeing a place in person always allows you to see the space better and see if it actually works for you.
I always recommend having a landlord who resides in the city so that you can discuss any questions you may have.
That's a great transition to our next point. Number 4, carefully review and understand the lease. Jewel, what is a lease?
Well, Julianna, according to my research specialist Google, a lease is a contractual agreement between two parties. In this case, it allows the tenant access to the house they are renting, while also guaranteeing that the landlord gets regular payments for a specific period of time.
That is right, Jewel. Make sure you have a copy of the lease that clearly expresses the expectations of the landlord and your responsibilities as a tenant.
Exactly. You'll want to know things like, is the rent inclusive or all utilities separate? When is the rent due by, and how does the landlord want it to be paid? Is there a late fee for a delayed rent payment? Are you responsible for yard maintenance? Or is parking included, or is it separate?
You're right, Breanna. Those are all important questions to ask, and they should all be answered in the lease. Remember, the only accepted lease in Ontario is the Ontario Standard Lease. You have the right to make sure your landlord provides this lease and can request it if they don't. You may get confused by the lease agreement and the language used. The great thing is that the Ontario government website has an entire guide to Ontario Standard Lease. The site is linked in the description.
Number 5, roommates. When moving into a house, you might encounter roommates. You may be moving into a place with existing roommates, or you may be choosing a set of roommates to live with. Make sure you get to know your roommates before signing a lease with them. Some people may like to party, while others may like quiet spaces for studying. Make sure you all have a clear understanding of expectations of each other before moving in.
Number 6, get to know your landlord. Stay updated with them. Make sure you email them and get their phone number so that you can contact them if there are any issues. There are some things that your landlord must be responsible for and some things they are not allowed to do. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the rights as a tenant to understand your landlord's obligations.
A complete listing of the Tenant Protection Act can be found at the following sources: Landlord Tenant Board, Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, and Ontario Tenant Rights. You can also use the services at your local community legal services clinic for questions regarding your lease. We'll have these linked in the description below.
Number 7, distribute house duties. This is another thing to consider if you're living with roommates. Discuss different chores like vacuuming, taking out the trash, cleaning the bathroom, and just general tidy up. Having these discussions early on can save you from a headache later on.
Number 8, supplies. Talk to your roommates about sharing resources like garbage bags, paper towels, toilet paper, soap, and sponges. There are some things that will be shared within the house, especially when it comes to condiments. How many bottles of ketchup would you like in your fridge? Pooling these supplies makes living on your own more affordable and also cuts down on additional clutter.
Number 9, garbage collection. Time management is not just helpful for your academics. It's a system that can help you keep your waste under control. Know your garbage and recycling collection schedule by visiting the City of Thunder Bay's website. And most importantly, know which recyclables are accepted and sorted. It's easy to let the garbage pile up, asking to just take it out in one big filled to the brim bag. Do yourself and your nostrils a favor. And remember to take out the garbage every single week.
And number 10, keep up to date with local events. Many neighborhoods have private community groups on social media sites like Facebook. This is a great way to keep up with your neighborhood and get the insight on when the garage sales are going on.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Tune in next time to see more Wolfie's Top 10s.
Did you enjoy the 4th segment of Wolfie's Top 10s? Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and follow us on Instagram at Lakehead Life and at Lakehead Life OR so you don't miss out on our upcoming episodes and announcements. Use the hashtag Wolfie's Top 10 to share your top 10 tips for off-campus housing. Wolf signing out.